Hello, good morning, and welcome to Morning Brew on the Hughes of the World channel. Newly named Hughes of the World channel. How you all doing this morning? I am Graham Hughes. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome one, welcome all. Who have we got in the chat today? We've got Billy, we've got Martin, we've got Diz, we've got Lost Missionary, we've got Elle. We've got Stuck as well. We have got, and we've got Saz, and we've got Francis in there as well. Brilliant. Hello. Welcome to the show. If you'd like to join our friends in the chat here, all you need to do is hit the subscribe button and wait for approximately 1 minute, and you'll be able to add what you're thinking. Speak your brains! You might have heard a little 1-2 when I was starting, because that's what I do to check the mic levels as the title's going, but normally my mic is muted when I do that, but it wasn't muted. So sorry about that little technical difficulty there, where you got to see a peek behind the curtain of getting these shows up and running. So I'm a bit late this morning. Obviously, I did change the time to 9:10, but it's still the holidays. The kids are still off school. It's a little bit discombobulating, but also, I mean, there's a good chance that when you need to use the loo in the morning, there might be someone else in there, which doesn't normally happen because I got to school. Anyway, so Morning Lost says Yuri and Infectinov. Hello, Yuri and Infectinov. Gallifreyan Ren is also in there. Harry Flashman. We've also got SG in the chat and Liam as well. Brilliant. Loads of really nice, familiar names in there. So, cause for celebration this morning. Obviously, Viktor Orbán has been ousted as the Prime Minister of Hungary. He was the Kremlin's man on the inside. Obviously, Farage absolutely freaking loved him. There was a tweet that went out from Kaval Kodwala yesterday. I'll bring it up here so you can all see it. And there you go. Party's finally over, Nigel. This is referring to a message, a tweet that was put up by Nigel Farage in 2011, 15 years ago, right? Just thanked Viktor Orbán at the end of the Hungarian presidency of the EU. It's a cycling presidency, 6 months on, 6 months, 6 years off, for being our secret weapon and helping us bring down the EU project. Wow. That was 15 years ago. So you can probably guess how I feel about Orbán. I think he's an absolute fucking scumbag. I can't wait till he's not on this planet anymore, just like with Farage and Trump and all these fascist knobheads. And people go, oh, you shouldn't wish death on people. I'm like, well, listen, I'm sure there were plenty of people in World War II who were wishing death on Adolf Hitler, right? Back then, the population of the earth wasn't quite as high as it is now. In terms of magnitude of suffering that these motherfuckers can cause right now, it's comparable with what Hitler did. And but the big difference is that I do believe that there was some ideological, deranged, psychotic, genocidal ideology behind what Hitler was trying to do. Whereas Orbán and Farage and Putin and Trump, there is no ideology. It is just about the grift. They just want to make money, make more money, make more money, make money for their friends, make sure that systems are put in place to keep them in power forever so that they always make more money, because it's very easy to manipulate the markets when you are the president of the United States of America. It's very easy to get a cool 9 million dropped on you by a cryptocurrency billionaire who lives in Thailand if you are Nigel Farage. It's very easy to get Putin to give you a few billion here and there. If you are the leader of Hungary and you're holding up the billions of euros that were supposed to go to Ukraine to help the war efforts, you can hold them up, especially if you're getting bribed by the Kremlin. So there we go. It's party's over. The party is over, and this is it. I mean, this is hopefully, fingers crossed. You know, it's the hope it'll kill you. It's hopefully the beginning of the end. Because this is not just a routine election loss in Hungary. This is the collapse of one of the most entrenched illiberal regimes in the whole of the continent of Europe. I mean, you're looking on a parallel here with Belarus or with Russia. Orbán spent over a decade systematically reshaping Hungary into what he proudly called an illiberal democracy. He rewrote electoral laws to favour his party. He packed the judiciary with his loyalists. Sound familiar? Anyone in America? He brought roughly 80% of the media under friendly control. Does that sound familiar? Anyone who's ever looked at any British newspapers, I'll say 80% of them are so far up Nigel Farage's arse, they could wear him as a hat. And then he used state resources to entrench his power. You know, like Donald Trump spending $1 billion of American taxpayers' money to pay off a French company to not build wind turbines. And this wasn't governance. This was engineering. This was systemic engineering to make sure that the illiberal fash, never get out of power. But it looks like they have been ousted. And I know that you could argue that they've been replaced by fash lights, but the lots of people supported Magyar. Peter Magyar is the correct way to pronounce his name, according to the Googles. A lot of people supported him and his TSOR party because he said he was going to get rid of not just Orbán, but all the corruption that Orbán has done. And also, he ran on a pro-EU, pro-Ukrainian platform, whereas Orbán obviously ran on an anti-EU, anti-Ukrainian platform. Isn't it interesting, though, that Orbán, despite all his yabba, 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 and he does look like a toad, like Nigel Farage looks like a frog, and Orbán looks like a toad. I guess they could sing the frog chorus together if they were ever, minded to do so. He didn't pull Hungary out the EU, did he? No, he liked riding that EU gravy train, just like Farage. Farage never expected us to vote to leave the EU. He never expected it. That's why he went to ground. Remember 10 years ago when he won the election? The fraudulendum? Do you remember? He went to ground. He just disappeared. He fucked off. Do you remember him doing that? Yeah? Do you remember Boris Johnson just fucking off? Yeah? Oh, I'm going to be the next leader now. And then he realised what an absolute shit sandwich he'll be handed if he tried to do a Brexit with the numbers that he had in Parliament at the time. And he said, oh, no, I'm not going to do that. Swerved the bullet. Ran away. Brave old Sir Robin. Ran away. Carol Codwater has all the receipts. Love that lady, says SG, for the first super chat of the week. Thank you so much, SG. That's very kind of you. And it's the first of possibly 5 super chats, which will allow us to fire the confetti cannon, which I think that we should just keep doing a lot today because obviously we've got something to celebrate. Peter Painter-Lot says Orbán must be ill and weary and have an agreement that he will not be prosecuted. Maybe. And Elle says trans people get jabbed again on GMB. I've got it on +1 from around 9:38 ITV +1 if you want to check it out. Oh, for fuck's sake! Yeah, it's the mainstream, isn't it? It's the main. It's like there's no other problems in life. There's no housing crisis. There's no cost of living crisis. Crisis? What crisis? No waiting list crisis. Crisis? What crisis? People have got the spare time and the spare money to be freaking out about trans people existing. I mean, imagine having that luxury. Imagine having that luxury to be like, oh, well, I'm not bothered about anything else that's going on in the world right now. The war in Iran or the closure of the Strait of Hormuz. That doesn't bother me. It costs over £100 to fill up my diesel fucking car. That's fine. That's fine. I can absorb that. But you know what? I can't absorb the fact that trans people exist. So I'm going to spend all my time and energy wanging on about it. Without any journalists. These fucking journalists in this country, man, they drive me up the fucking wall. They're all posh little bastards who play wank on the cracker on their fucking, in the private schools, didn't they? And they all went to school with the people at the interview. And it's like, remember we played that game in the cupboard, Timothy? Yes, we do. Oh, God, it was so much fun. Anyway, you're not going to ask me any difficult questions, are you? No, of course not. I'm not going to ask you a difficult question. You're not going to call me out if I lie. No. Of course I'm not going to call you out if you lie. Fantastic. Thank you very much. Right, I'll come on your show. Put on your mic. Oh, hello, Minister. Is there anything you would like to say? Is there anything that you'd like to opine? Yes, I think that trans people shouldn't be allowed to be out in public. Okay, that's very nice. I'm not going to push back on that in any way whatsoever. I'm just going to go to sleep, actually. You just talk and I'll just fall asleep and Remember the good old days when we were all in school together, all our posh boarding schools together, showing each other our knobs. Francis, thank you very much for the £2 super chat. That is very kind of you, Francis. Agree, Cara Codwada is an outstanding journalist. She's awesome. I met her. I met her I met her a couple of times, actually. I met her at the screening of 2073, as if Capadia's film. But then, Capadia. I think it's Capadia. I think it's pronounced Capadia. Never asked him. And I also met her at the launch of a bunch of journalists from The Observer, led by Carol, and with the help of another Carol Vorderman, and also Stuart Lee, who we also love, who is privately educated, but, you know, they're not all bad. They were launching their own title. Oh, God, I can't remember his fucking name now. Sorry. Sorry, everyone. But yeah, and at a fringe event at the Labour conference last year. So that was good. That was good. That was one of them where you turn up and you have your name on the list, and you go, it's Graham, and they go down and they pick someone whose name isn't Graham, and it's not even like yours, and they go, is that you? And you go, yeah, that's me, and you walk in. How blimey, Wayne? How big's your round? It's Kunzberger doing the interview when they already know the questions beforehand. Yeah, she's very posh. Anyway, goldfish, yes. So look, Peter Magyar won a supermajority. He won a supermajority. It's the part that shouldn't leave every authoritarian-leaning leader nervous, which is, you know, I mean, I doubt this will happen in America because America's not set up this way. They don't necessarily get rid of all of their senators. It's only a third of the senators. I think in this year it's 35 of the senators are going to be up for election. So it's over a 6-year term, and it's only and essentially if the Senate, which is ridiculously undemocratic, you have 100 seats in the Senate, right? And each state has 2 seats, no matter how big or small it is. So somewhere like Wyoming, which has a population of less than 500,000, has the same number of senators as California, which has a population of 40 million, which is bigger than most countries in the world, 40 million. And they only get 2 representatives. Now, if you are unfortunate enough to be the Northern Mariana Islands, Guam, Puerto Rico, or the American Samoa, or the US Virgin Islands, do you know anyone who's been to all those 5 places? Someone probably has. But if you know anyone who's been to all those places, you know, say hello. Say hello from me. They don't even get any representation in the Senate whatsoever, or in the House of Representatives for that matter. But they do have someone who can turn up and speak, but they can't vote. Right? They can speak, but no taxation without representation. Is that what they said? Yeah, I'm pretty sure they have taxation in Puerto Rico. But it's a really mad system. It's a really mad system. The American system is just shite. It is flawed. It is deeply, 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 deeply flawed, as I've wanged on about quite a lot. But the midterms are coming up, and despite the fact that Orbán tried to rig the elections over the last 16 years so he could never lose, he lost really badly. Now, I doubt Trump would ever concede. I think Trump has got a lot more tricks up his sleeve when it comes to allowing the midterms to go ahead in a free and fair way, and for the elections to be counted in a free and fair way, and then for the results to be transmitted to Washington, D.C. and translated into actual seats in a fair and democratic way. I really doubt it's gonna go down the way we'd like it to. However, this absolute political earthquake in Hungary does send an absolute shockwave through the MAGA faithful in America, the Fruit Loops of MAGA, hopefully they're shitting bricks right now. Hey, it's funny though. J.D. Vance, what a guy! He turns up to the Pope, meets the Pope, Pope fucking dies. He goes to negotiate peace with Iran, and comes away with no peace. And then he goes over to see Viktor Orbán to prop him up, and Viktor Orbán loses in a landslide. And don't forget, also, you look at what happened in Australia last year, you look what happened in Canada, people turned away from the fash. They just went, I don't want that. I don't want some fascist knobhead stealing all the money. Ms. Paula Thomas, thank you very much for the £10 super chat. Orbán's main support was outside cities in rural areas. Magyar was the first opponent to go into those areas and talk to the people there. In my opinion, this was key. Go to people where they are. Yeah, couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. Could not agree more. Sarah says, just watched GMB piece on trans people. I'm fed up with living. Sarah, please, first of all, you are fucking awesome. Okay, that's the most important thing that I need to say, right? But secondly, please, this is a safe space. You know that you're not going to get any kind of transphobic shite on this channel. I'm not going to be the fucking hapless idiot who allows people to come on my podcast to say horrible things, fringe lunatic beliefs, and then just sit there nodding, like Joe Rogan or the Diary of a CEO twat, and just go, yeah. I don't do that. So please, try your best. And I don't want to be telling you what to do. So I'll just say, look, if it was me, right? So this is not me telling you what to do. It's just if it was me, right? And actually, I'd say if it was me, I actually actively do this. I avoid any shit that I know is going to piss me off. I just avoid it. So I don't really go, follow football matches. I just look at the result afterwards. Because, it'll just put you in a bad mood for the rest of the day. I don't even like listening to music that I don't like. Like, if I go to the supermarket and they're playing some shit song, like that fucking song by the New Radicals. Jesus Christ, I hate that song. And it just gets stuck in your head for the next week. It's just going to put me in a bad mood. So, yeah, for me, I just try and avoid this kind of shit. And I know there's a part of me that thinks, well, you should be aware of what's going on. You should be aware of what people are saying. You should be aware. But I get this all the time. People send me stuff and they go, have you seen what this twat said? And then it's an interview with some gobshite and I can't even watch it. I'm just like, whatever. Give me the notes. Give me the cliff notes, as they say in America. I can't be dealing with things that are just going to fucking upset me or just make me angry or just piss me off. It's like getting drawn into a debate on the internet. What's the fucking point? It's just I've got to look after my mental health first before anything else. So yeah, Sarah, I'm sorry that the powers that be, the oil companies, have decided that they're gonna try and use this weapon of mass distraction to make everyone go, oh, but what about trans people, eh? What about I'm sorry that is happening. It's really fucking shit. And to all my trans audience, this is infuriating and disgusting in equal measure. But just know there are some good people who are fighting on your side. Chief amongst them, the Good Law Project. And if anyone's minded to give me a massive super chat, I would say, maybe think about giving it to the Good Law Project. And if you don't want to, that's fine. Give it to me, whatever. But they are doing the Lord's work when it comes to protecting the rights of trans people and taking these monsters to court and just saying what the fuck. They brought about the court case that twisted the legal system in knots, twisted the government in knots over where the toilet trans people can use. So let me get this straight. You can use the toilet. Let me get this straight. You can use the toilet in if you're not working. But if you are working, you can't. So if you're working in a bar, when you're working as a trans woman, you can't use the toilet. But when you finish work, you can, as a punter, you're allowed to use the toilet. I mean, fucking hell. Oh, fucking load of nonsense. And Sarah, no matter how much folk don't mind their own business and try and bring you down, remember, at least you're not me, says Pete. Come on, Pete, don't put yourself down like that. But yeah, I mean, look, and also be aware that, Sarah, I know it can feel lonely, but you're not the only one. You're not the only one in this situation. You're not the only one in this, feeling this shit right now. And it's just so evil that these motherfuckers sat around a boardroom table on the 77th floor of some shite fucking skyscraper, right? And they were like, brainstorming, like, what minority can we go after that we can get away with? That's like just a tiny, tiny minority. So they just don't have the voice. They don't have enough people. Because what made the LGB, arguably T, but the LGB revolution in the 1990s and 2000s, where people started really changing their opinions on how they felt and treated people who were gay. You could see from the public attitude surveys in the 1980s, in which 95% of people asked thought there was something wrong with being gay, and that had absolutely flipped on its head in just 20 years. It was 95% of people saying there's nothing wrong with being gay. nothing wrong whatsoever. And so things can change. But one of the driving forces behind that was exposure, was the fact that so many gay people were coming out the closet, happy to talk about their life and their lifestyle of being gay. And it ended up in the situation where most people knew someone who was gay. Most people had a friend, or had a colleague, had a neighbor, had a family member, at least one who was gay, and it became more normal and became more of an everyday thing. And that's what broke down a lot of the resistance and a lot of the vile things that people used to say about gay people, which is what I grew up with in the 80s in Liverpool. I mean, people were incredibly homophobic, especially during the AIDS pandemic, and people said the most horrific things. And a lot of the stuff that we're hearing now about trans people, where they go, "Oh, well, if they use the toilet, they might attack you." They said it about gay men. They said it about gay men in the 1980s. I remember I was a kid, and they said, "Oh, watch out! If you go in the men's toilets and there's a man in there." And Sarah, thank you very much. Oh, thank you, Sarah. You didn't have to give a super chat, but thank you very much. That is very, very kind of you. Thanks, Graham, and everyone here. Oh. But you are an important part of our community, and please don't ever feel like you're not, and don't ever feel like you're not wanted here. You absolutely are. And this is a little corner of the internet where we can all sort of chill and spill, chill out and spill our guts, talk about all the shit that's going on and the shit that's fucking us off. And then look, and also I never want to feel like I'm saying to people, "Oh, don't say that, don't say that." If you're feeling in a certain way, please feel free to talk about it in the chat, because there are other people going through similar things, and this is a really good, I'm going to say, support group. I know it's not meant to be. I know it's supposed to be a politics channel, kind of, politics and travel, but yeah, it helps me, honestly. Coming out here in the morning, sitting down, talking about all the shit that's going on in the world, it really, really helps me mentally process it and understand it, and understand that I'm not the only one who feels this way. Because what they want is to make us feel isolated, make us feel crazy, make us feel like we're the crazy ones, when we're not. When we're absolutely not. They're the ones crazy. They're the ones crazy for money. There you go. So then you go. Anyway, so yeah, we were talking about Peter Magyar, who is the leader of the TSOR party, who has won 138 of the 199 seats of the Hungarian parliament. Is enough to amend the constitution, enough to start dismantling Orbán's systems. As I was talking about yesterday, Orbán didn't just change the constitution in his favour. He made these laws, and they rebranded them cardinal laws, even though they were not constitutional laws. There was no natural law or anything like that involved in it. He changed it. He changed the setup. So in order to get rid of these cardinal laws, you needed a 2/3 majority. Well, Peter Magyar has got a 2/3 majority. So let's see what happens. It gives Hungary a rare opportunity, not just to change a government, but to reverse structural authoritarianism, which is kind of what Labour should be doing, but whatever. And over 65% of under 30s voted against Orbán. There was a record turnout, 80% turnout, the highest ever in Hungarian history. In the history of the country of Hungary, that's the highest democratic turnout for an election. And there was a massive street mobilization before the election. And yeah, and as Paula Thomas was saying, Peter Magyar, he went out and he actually talked to people in rural areas who were minded to vote for Farage, Orbán, and got them on side. And do you know what? It's not that difficult. You got to talk to people. I think I've talked people around from fucking Farage. They've been a bit dewy-eyed about Farage, and I've told them some home truths about the cunt, and they changed the tune slightly. And also, this is young people who grew up entirely under Orbán's rule have just said enough. And this matters globally because the far right has relied heavily on cultural grievance, politics, anti-woke panic and nostalgia. But younger voters are rejecting it in large numbers. OMG. Oh, wow. Wow. Saz, £50 super chat for the Good Law Project with love. Oh, thank you so much. I'm going to, obviously have to forward that on. Thank you so much. And that is a mega chat. That's not just any old chat. That is a mega chat. Mega chat. Thank you, Saz. That is really, really kind of you. If you're not signed up to the Good Law Project emails, I suggest you go over to the website and sign up to them to find out what's happening. They send emails out talking about what court cases are going through at the moment. But Saz, that is amazing. Thank you so much. And it also allows me to do this. 3, 2, 1, confetti! Yay! Yes! It's all good. It's all good. Thank you, Saz. That is very, very kind of you. 50 quid. So yeah, we'll start another goal, and I'll make sure that I'm going to turn off the word confetti because that stayed on the screen too long, didn't it? It's really nice of you. Thank you very, very much, Saz. That is very, very kind of you. So yeah, and that means I have to yabber on a bit longer, don't I? I have to yabber on a bit more. I have to keep going. Oh, Pineapple Boy is there. Hey, Pineapple Boy. I haven't seen you for ages, mate. Thank you very much. A small, beautiful day. Oh, thanks, mate. I really appreciate that, mate. And it's good to see you. It's good to see you in the chat. Hey, yay. I like it when I see names that I haven't seen for a little bit, and I'm like, yay, they're still with us. Because I do worry a little bit that we lose people and they don't come back. They're like, oh, fucking Graham said this twatty thing one day, and I'm like, well, I do say a lot of things, so you know, if you think like 99% of what I say is okay, tolerable, please just hang on for the 1%. Please don't leave forever. So thanks very much to Pineapple Boy there. A small, beautiful day. Your blower is upside down. Is it? No, it's not. No, it's not. It just looks it because it goes out that way. Is that what it's called? It's called a blower. Is that what it's called? Party blower. Yay! Bye-bye, Orbán. Don't let the door hit your ass on the way out, you horrible little toady-faced gobshite. I can donate Good Law Project by standing order from just a couple of quid per month, says Mr. Tisk. Yeah, a better investment, I think, than being part of a political party at the moment. A reminder for those interested on GMB ITV Plus One next few minutes. I know this is brought up totally random. It's not been a news story for the last few days. Yeah. But also, look, we need to have a bit of a trigger warning on this stuff as well, because it will upset people. And this is the thing. Like I try and avoid shit that I know that I'm going to find upsetting. And Gareth says, Graham, I can plug that. Hopefully, if all goes well, be doing some videos on my weekend hobby of being a track marshal. No politics, but hopefully it will be interesting. Oh, my brother does that. My brother does track marshalling. Is that at the race? Is that at the motor races? You might run into him. GMB, can't bring myself to watch that bollocks, says Lost Mission. Yeah, I'm a bit like you. Well, it's like GB News. Do you know what I mean? Like, you just when there's a clip from GB News and it comes up, and I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake, because it's not going to make me feel any happier. But then again, sometimes you do get someone who goes on GB News who just rips the gobshite a new one. I mean, you saw Marina Perkis's performance when she was on against Rees Mogg, and she just absolutely wiped the floor with him. It was a beautiful thing to see. Absolutely beautiful. But yeah. Good morning, Gillian. Hello, Gillian. How you doing? I love it. We're in the chat. Everyone's saying morning to each other. It's like taking the bike through the village, and just waving to people, or AIDS dad as they call him, through the village, and we everyone's like hello, like cup of tea. It's nice. It's nice. I like it. But yeah, younger voters rejecting the fash in large numbers, and Orbán's international backing did not save him. He was backed by Donald Trump, by J.D. Vance, who literally went to Budapest to help, by Marine Le Pen, by Giorgia Meloni, by Benjamin Netanyahu, by Vladimir Putin, and still it did not matter. This is crucial. The global far-right alliance is not electorally invincible. And he lost because corruption. He was there to take money. This is exactly what Farage has done. Farage, there's enough corruption that has followed Farage around that you can point out to people. Point out that when he was working for the EU he had his wife and his mistress on the books, and we were paying for that because we paid to be in the EU. One of the things that we paid for in the 200 million a week that we paid into the EU to be part of it. No mention about the 2 billion that we made back each week for the exchequer, not just in trade, but for the exchequer. 100 billion a year, 100 billion a year that we don't get into the coffers, into the government coffers anymore because we left the EU. Nigel Farage rode that gravy train. Off a cliff, and then he took all the gravy. Also, economic stagnation, which is what happens when you have corruption at every level. We've got economic stagnation here as well. One of the big reasons for the economic stagnation of this country is because we left the EU. It's as simple as that. It just makes it harder to sell or buy. And also, inward investment, and this is huge, and hardly anyone ever talks about this. Inward investment after 2016 went off a fucking cliff. We had almost 100 billion pounds of inward investment in 2016, and then after that fraud referendum, and that had been pledged obviously earlier. After the fraud referendum, it literally went off a cliff. It just because no one wanted to invest in a country where they didn't know what was going to happen next. Because this is the thing, like if you're a member of the EU, you sign up to the EU rules, which don't change very rapidly. You have these set rules, and the EU is a rules-based institution. And therefore, it is, unlikely to just change its mind overnight. Whereas a government of a country can. So it can have a trade deal with Australia, and people are like, okay, we've got a trade deal with Australia. But then a new government can come in and go, fuck that trade deal, I don't want it anymore, and literally scrap it overnight. And there's nothing to stop them doing that, really. I know that theoretically, Australia could take the UK to court over that. Where would that court be? It would be the WTO in Geneva. What's wrong with the WTO in the Geneva? Well, Trump in his first administration absolutely gutted the powers of the WTO, and it doesn't really exist anymore in the same way that it used to, as a club of 146 countries that share certain rules. You saw that with Trump putting tariffs on everyone for every single commodity. No kind of most favored nation rules there. The WTO went straight out the fucking window. So yeah, the other reason for economic stagnation, I was reading an article about this yesterday, and they were talking about the fact that austerity, right? Austerity was fucking awful, right? Because it took money off people, and it meant they had no disposable income, or very little disposable income. And here's the thing, okay? And this is how it's explained, right? So imagine you at the moment, right? So when our parents were our age, the average mortgage or rent was about 10% of your income. Now it's about 50% of your income, especially if you're living in somewhere like London. So you've got an average wage, take-home wage of something like 2,700 or 2,300 a month. Oh, that'd be lovely, wouldn't it? And you've got the average rent at about 1,200. So obviously it's a little bit more than 50% actually, but it means that a lot of the money that people should have as disposable income isn't going on disposable income. So that's just going on rent. Then you've got to pay for the lecky, you've got to pay for the gas, you've got to pay for the water, you've got to pay for the corpy, the council tax, right? So you've got all this money going out. But if you have 100 quid and you spend that in your local community, well, that 100 quid, 70 of it that you spend in a shop will go on buying more goods, will go on wages for the staff, will go on other things, so it gets recycled. And then 50 pounds of that will go to a company who's just that bought something off to pay their people, or to, and those people will go out and buy some stuff with that 50 quid, and then 40 quid of that will be, and by the time that money has gone round and round and round, it's actually generated 500 quid for the economy, right? The problem is, because we're giving half our money to landlords who have a second house, and we're literally paying off their mortgage, that money's going to a black hole. That money, that 100 quid, which could be spent in your local community to go round and round and prop up the economy, is actually just going straight into literally a bank account, just literally to pay off a bank, and it just dies. It just goes. That's it. It's gone. And a lot of these banks are international. They will spend that money on buying stocks and shares in foreign companies that got nothing to do with us. And yeah, more profit for the banks, the international banks, but for us in the UK, that money does not go around in our communities. And that's why austerity was so fucking bad for the United Kingdom. It was based on a one fucking report, a misaligned fucking Excel spreadsheet. Like honestly, it was based on a lie, on something that was not even true. But they fucked it and made it so the poor got poorer and less money went round and the economy slowed the fuck down. Had they not done austerity, had they not done Brexit, we would have gone into COVID having a economy bigger than Germany's. As that's what we were on the trajectory for in 2010, before the Tories got in with their fucking deranged ideas. The Tories and the Lib Dems, by the way, was a coalition government. Let's not forget. They went, yeah, austerity. That's the way to do it. And there's an important life lesson to learn here. These people are fucking dickheads. They're dickheads. These people in charge are dickheads. Everyone's making it up as they go along. No one's got some master plan. They're all just making it up as they go along, and we need to remember that, because it's one of the lies that we were taught when we were kids. It's like adults know what they're doing. They don't. They're just flailing around, just saying the next thing that comes into their head and listening to the last person who spoke to them. Oh yeah, you need to bring in austerity. That'll be great. So you got austerity, you got Brexit, you got the COVID response, you got trustonomics, let's trust mini budget, and you've got the fact that so much of our housing stock is owned by a small cohort of people. Now, not all boomers are the people hoarding the housing stock in this country, but so this money that should be disposable income, that should be spent on bars and cafes and in the high streets of our country, are not being spent on the high streets. They're being given to landlords, who then put it into a bank to pay off the mortgage on their property. And it's not, that money is not working. That money is not making more money for our economy. So it's a perfect storm. You know, inward investment off a cliff. The amount of disposable income that we have off a cliff. The standing in the world off a cliff. Like, you know, we have these trade deals, but they're not comprehensive in a way that, you know, would impact our economy in such a way if we reneged on it. Whereas reneging on EU deals, obviously that would fuck us really badly, because the EU is also the gateway to things like Mercosur and other ASEAN and other groups around the world, in which they have some sort of trade deal with, or some sort of agreement with, or memorandum of understanding, or whatever it is. And obviously the EU is a much bigger bloc as a whole. It represents over 500 million people and 500 million consumers, and obviously they can make laws. And the reason why all phones now use USB-C is because of the EU. They forced Apple, one of the biggest companies in the world, to bend to its will and do the sensible thing and stop doing this stupid thing where every electrical device in your house has a different cable. Now, every electrical device has USB-C. Low voltage electrical device has a USB-C. You know, from your Apple phone to your Switch 2 to your mobile phone to literally your laptop uses a USB-C. Miss Paula Thomas, thank you very much for the £2 super chat. The one thing investors hate is uncertainty. Yep, absolutely. And Ivan, £10 super chat, thank you very much. How can I make my YouTube channel better to discuss issues which are important to me? I'm still getting nowhere. This is one of the things which is a drain and a strain on my mental health. Ivan, I don't know. I mean, what I'd say is that this is difficult. It's not easy coming out here. I know we make it look easy, but I mean, it's not. And you've got to talk about stuff that you feel passionately about in a way that engages people and makes them want to join the discussion. And the problem I found with not doing live stuff, I mean, first of all, you don't really get super chats on pre-record, so it's got to be based on advertising. And then if you say something that advertisers aren't going to like, God, I can't wait till Trump dies, and that Farage is a fucking cunt, isn't he? If you say stuff like that, you get demonetized, you get your advertising taken away, and so your video will make no money whatsoever. But also the comments. You know, when we're doing this and we have live chat and we've got some mods, I mean, we hardly get any trolls. I mean, we get one or two now and again, but we don't get many trolls on here. But it is it's a lot. It's a lot doing this every day and talking about stuff and finding things to talk about every day without being too repetitive. And I know that's a criticism that has been leveled against me on this channel. And it's valid. It's absolutely valid. But then in quite a few ways, it does feel like Groundhog Day every time we open the newspapers and go, oh yeah, okay, same shit. Oh, Trump has said something horrible. Trump has said something disgusting. Yeah, so when I did pre-records, you just get like comments and you get a lot more trolls because you get people just being horrible for no reason whatsoever. I had a video years ago. It's my most successful video. It had 1.5 million views, and it was me saying the name of each country in the world in every country in the world, right? And someone put on it as like a comment, typical male going around the world, raping and pillaging or something like that. Why don't you do something better with your time, like volunteer at a children's shelter? Never mind, you'd probably rape the kids. Someone left that comment underneath this video that was just like non-political. It wasn't me saying we should do this, should do that. It was literally me saying the name of a country in the country that I was in. So I was just like, fuck this shit. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I didn't sort of, one of the many reasons, but like one of the reasons why I found it difficult to spend time putting together these really well put together videos with animations and maps and all that kind of stuff from my travels around the world, because you just get these fucking comments and you get 100 nice comments and then one horrible comment just fucking comes on top of you. So I don't know. What I would say is maybe think about all the other platforms other than YouTube, stuff that isn't so immediate and so easy for the gobshites to jump on. And I don't know, how you feel about writing or whatever, but Substack is a really good way of getting stuff out there to people. That is more, I would say, it's more friendly to people like us who are a bit neurospicy than this. This is a bit, this can be. I know this is a nice corner of the internet. This is a nice corner of YouTube, but it can be a bit more rough and tumble. And so that would be, there's Discord out there as well. But I would recommend having a look at some. I mean, maybe you already do this, but I know I've got a couple of friends. I've got one friend who is autistic who does a Substack, and that's really good. It works for him, and in the way that his he can sort of do stuff when he wants to write stuff. He can put it down on paper and get paper, but get it written down electronically, but get that message out there. And that's important to him, and he does all right, I think. But yeah, as a way of making money, which is why some of us do this, it is an uphill struggle. It is an uphill struggle, and for that reason, I would not necessarily recommend it as a job. To be honest with you, unless you're of a certain unhinged mentality. Like what I am, and some of our friends on here, then yeah, maybe. Time has flown, says Viper Scott, who's been a member for 16 months. Welcome. You are awesome. Also, Katrina Tam as well, member for 15 months. Hi, Graham. Time really does fly, doesn't it? Yes, it does. My niece's rent is almost $4,000 a month in Silicon Valley. What the fuck? Jesus Christ. That's a lot. My landlord has no mortgage on this place. Pure professionalism professional for him now. Yeah. I mean, look, if you've got the money to buy a property and people need to live there for 6 months, right? Renting until they get their own place, that's fine. But what the Tories did in the 1980s, and we talk about them, privatizing the phones, privatizing the trains, privatizing the water, privatizing the electricity, privatizing the gas, privatizing all these commodities, right? Or selling off the British, selling off the silver from the British silver cabinets. We don't really talk about the housing. They privatized housing. They took socialized housing, like state-owned housing, council-owned flats and houses, and they moved them into the private market. And over the vast majority of those houses that were bought by the council tenants are now private landlords who rent them out to people. So rent has stopped being an option and now it's become an obligation. And people are trapped in a rent trap, and they will be for years. And they will stay in that trap. They'll never get out. And I think that's really bad for the economy. I think that's bad for society. I think it's bad for the mental health of the people having to put up with this shit. At least now there's a renters' rights charter coming in with Labour, so you can't just evict people on day one for no reason whatsoever. You have to take them even if they've got pets. You have to take them even if they have a different colour and you don't like the colour they are. No, you got to take them. You can't just up the rent. You can't do this practice that they used to do where you used to get like 3 people and they would all bid for how much they'll pay in rent and you'd give it to the highest bidder. You can't do that anymore. Good. But overall, I think landlords are fucking scum. I'm sorry. But the vast majority, not all landlords, maybe we should make a little pop-up to say not all landlords, but a lot of them, it's not working. It's not looking after somewhere. But here's the thing, right? You leave a property. Go on. Buy a property and leave it vacant for 2 years. Come in after 2 years and see the repairs that need to be done. See the rot behind the fucking walls. See all the damp that's got in. See the fucking, the leaky tap that you didn't even know was still connected. See the damage. No one's opened the windows. It'll just stick. You have to replace all of the carpets. You have to replace the wood. You have to replace the fucking paneling on the walls. You have to replace the whole kitchen. You have to replace the whole bathroom because it's just covered in black mold. Like, you leave a property for 2 years with no one coming in, no one going out, no one looking after it. It'll cost you a fucking fortune. Those tenants of yours are saving you money. You should be paying them. You should be paying people to stay in your property and look after it. Custodians, caretakers, call them what you will. They're looking after your shit. They are shining your fucking brass fucking monkeys. That's what they're doing. And what do? You say, well, you got to pay. You're gonna have to pay me for shining your brass monkeys. No, we do not answer strange numbers calling us in the middle of a stream. Anyway. If your number's not on my phone, I'm not picking up. Actually, to be honest with you, if you don't text me first to say I'm going to call, I'm probably not going to pick up. Especially if I'm in the middle of a show. Okay, so Ms. Paula Thomas, thank you very much for the £5. I was going to say £5 situation. Thank you for the situation. Thank you very much for the donation and the situation. Austerity is a false solution. It automatically makes the problem worse. It increases debt to GDP without borrowing another penny as it reduces GDP. Yeah. I know. It's crazy, isn't it? It's crazy how these people, these motherfuckers who went to the most expensive schools in the world. Don't forget that fucking Cameron went to Eton. Where did Gideon Osborne go? What school did he go to? George Osborne. George Osborne, Chancellor of the Exchequer, famously booed. The early life and education. His father is Sir Peter Osborne, 17th Baronet. Well, that's all right, isn't it? St. Paul's. He went to St. Paul's School in southwest London. And both of them went to Oxford. I think, he went to Magdalen College, which looks like Magdalen College, but it's pronounced Magdalen. And we're complaining about Hungarian pronunciations. Magdalen College in Oxford. And obviously Cameron went to Oxford as well. He studied at, which gobshite bloody place did he go to? Eton College, smoked cannabis and got away with it because, he's posh. You know that James O'Brien got kicked out of his posh private school for dealing. I think he was dealing. I don't know if he was smoking or just dealing. Or dealing, or just smoking, or whatever, but cannabis, yeah. The rest of us, we get put in fucking jail for that. He went to Brasenose. Anyway, so it's probably not pronounced Brasenose, is it? It's probably not Brasnost. He went to Brasnost College in Oxford. So these two people, like Cameron and Osborne, like fucking, the brain trust, the most expensive education that man can buy on this fucking planet. Humans can buy. Sorry, I mean to be sexist. The most expensive education that humans can buy, and they both looked at this dodgy fucking Excel spreadsheet and went, "Yeah, we're going to bring in austerity. That's a great idea," because they'd never had to struggle. They'd never had to scrabble around the back of the sofa to find 20p to put in the lecky meter to turn the lecky back on. They'd not gone 2 weeks without a phone. That happened in the 80s. Your phone fucking broke down and you had to ring up what was then, before the GPO, before it all got privatized. Can you get me a new phone? Well, how do you ring them up? You have to go to the neighbour's house. Hey, listen, can you get my phone sorted? Yeah, I'll be there in 2 weeks. 2 weeks without a phone. You know, in the middle of winter, and the lecky goes off. Trying to watch the match. And this is something they don't understand. They don't understand. They've never lived those lives. They've never seen anyone that they know. They've never met anyone really. They've never got to know someone who lives that life, who has lived that life. And it's interesting now. Wayne saying, I'm not going to call Toffee cunt. Hey, Wayne, how you doing? Wayne puts the arse in Arsenal. He's going to call me now just to be an arse. Oh, wow. Viper Scott sent 5 Hughes of the World gift memberships. Oh, wow. Thank you, Viper Scott. That's very, 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 very kind of you. That is very kind. You are the best, my friends. You are the best. Thank you. You are the best. 5 gift memberships. So now Paul Ewan, Suzanne Casey, Cloud Hugger 79, House of Proctor, and Diana Lee, and now all been given gift memberships. So thank you, all of you. You are all incredible. Welcome, and welcome new members to the channel. You'll now get a little rose after your name. You get a little rose after your name, which is cool. And also, you'll get your name in the credits once I redo the credits, because I changed it so it says Hughes of the World at the end, but I didn't actually change the names on the credits because I didn't have time, because it's a very, very time-consuming process. Because what you have to do, you have to go into your YouTube thing and get list of members, and it comes down as a CSV file, so you have to open that in Google Sheets or in Excel, and then you have to swipe the names, and they're not necessarily in alphabetical order, but also you've got to sort of change them a little bit so you're not giving everyone's full name away. So you put that into ChatGPT and say, put this into 4 groups with the punt in the middle, and it changes them, but then it fucks up some of them, and it does a symbol in someone's name, it doesn't know what's happening, and it gets some things wrong. So you've got to check all that, and then you've got to go into Patreon. I got 2 patrons, right? Stupidly, I'm going to have to shut down one, but you know, I've got 2 patrons, so I've got to go to each patron and then see which, download the CSV files for each of them, and then do the same thing, and put them in alphabetical order and all that jazz, and put them into groups of X many, and it honestly, the whole process of updating the names at the end of the show, it takes me about 3 hours. I'm not joking. It's like, I know that sounds like fucking mad that it could possibly take that long, even with ChatGPT kind of helping me out. Although I do think that I should abandon ChatGPT, because Sam Altman seems like a fucking wrong, and Jesus Christ. I mean, I don't use Grok either. Yeah. Anyway, what were we talking about? Nerd, says Supermassive Wayne. Yeah, I know. But get there. Alistair, civil supporter, bringing the awesome, cause he is awesome. From that's from Lost Missionary. Yes, thank you very much. To Viper Scott, you are absolutely awesome and incredible. Thank you. Okay, so you're definitely more confetti than Squeaky Tank. And Scott, I'm with you. What you said about GMB. For me, I see what they are saying, and that Jeremy Vine, I won't watch now. I used to. I will watch it if I know there was some trans news. I get some receipts. Yeah, that's fair enough. But don't forget that there are other people, and we will, there are people fighting the good fight on this. There genuinely are people who care about trans rights, and just the rights of just people in general, just to be left the fuck alone. Like, what were trans people asking for? They weren't asking for being. This is the same with like equal rights for ethnic minorities. There's equal rights for women. They're not asking. But this is the thing. If you're used to privilege, then equality feels like oppression. People aren't asking for like to become king. We go. We need to have a trans king, queen. Sorry, we need to have a trans queen. Well, I suppose they could be a trans man. We need to have a trans queen. And it's like, no one's asking for that. We need to have a trans prime minister. No, we're not asking for that. People aren't asking for this shit. A trans MP would be nice. Just one elected official who's there in Parliament who can stand up and make a speech about how trans people are, loved and valid, and they deserve our respect. That's something that could happen. Is that much out of 650 MPs? One trans MP? I mean, Viper Scott, thank you very much for the £2 super chat. Viper Scott being very, very generous this morning. Thank you so much. That is very, very kind of you for the super sticker. Why Orbanism almost impossible to beat is one of the YouTube titles from EU made simple 4 days ago. Wow. Well, he did get beaten. Viper Scott, confetti for days. Yay! Thank you very much to Viper Scott. Now, your super sticker here didn't come up as part of the towards the confetti, and I think that's because super stickers don't count as super chats. Isn't that annoying? It's the same mechanism. It's the same thing, but yeah. So we need one more super chat. But that's okay. You know, we can continue on with what we were talking about. I mean, we're nearly an hour into the show, and I've barely been touching this. Hang on, let me have a little bit of a coughing fit, and I'll be back with you. I love a good coughing fit. You don't want to cough down the mic, though, do you? It's a bit infidel. Okay, so what this means globally. This, Corbyn lost. Corbyn. Oh my God, Orbán, not Corbyn. God, that was a Freudian clit. I mean shit. I mean tit. I mean slip. Viper, thank you very much for the £2 super chat, Alistair. That is very, very kind of you, and it allows me to fire off. Yay! Woo! Yeah, confetti. Thank you very much, Viper Scott. That is awesome. I'll reset the goal so we can get more confetti. We don't have to, but if you want. Did anyone watch the thing last night? Did anyone watch the at the end of the show? I did the Geoguessr. I still can't get over that one where I was like 3 meters away. Like literally, I just clicked on the name of the place. It wasn't like I sussed out what road I was on. I was just like, okay, I'll just click on the name. I won't be that far away. It was 3 meters away. I don't think I'll ever get over that. Boom, says Martin Harrow. Boom, boom, shake the room. Thank you very much for the super chat. That's very kind of you. And everyone's celebrating in the chat. So we were talking about why Orbán lost. So corruption scandals, economic stagnation, EU funds frozen due to rule of law violations, declining public services, increasing isolation within Europe, and authoritarian populism. The message that we need to take away from this: authoritarian populism struggles when it actually has to deliver. And Phil makes this point about Labour, that what they really have to do in order to not lose the next election is deliver. They have to actually deliver. And we love the word deliver. We use it a lot on this channel. Well, I don't. Other people do. And then I've got a little pop-up that says deliver because it's said so freaking often in the old what's it called, the thing, the TV thing, what's it called? PMQs. Deliver. There you go. Deliver. I've even got a little pop-up that says deliver because they say it so much, but you have to. And authoritarian populism never, ever delivers. Trump says, I'm going to build a wall, and Mexico's going to pay for it. Did he build the wall? Did he fuck? He said he's going to get rid of Obamacare and he's going to replace it with something better. Did he get rid of Obamacare? Did he replace it with something better? Did he fuck? All this stuff that Trump has said he's going to do, he doesn't fucking do it. He said, I'm going to stop all the forever wars. Has he done that? Has he fuck? He's done the absolute fucking opposite. He's going to make Americans richer. Has he fuck? It's now $4 for a gallon of petrol at the pump in America, which is fuck all for us. I mean, that's less than a quid. That's less than a quid for a litre. Over here now, it's nearly £2 for a fucking litre, I think. What's the latest petrol prices? Petrol prices. I don't know because we don't drive a petrol car anymore. Petrol prices UK. Warning of UK fuel protests as Iran war sends price of diesel to £2 a litre. £2 a litre. A litre. So there you go. $8 in California. Woohoo! Yeah. So, this is the problem with the far right. They can't deliver because they're not there to deliver things for people. They're there to feather their own nests. So why would they deliver? Like, it's stupid. It's like someone robbing a bank and then someone saying, but why didn't they open a bank account? It's like, that's not why they went into the bank. They went into the bank to rob the fucking bank. They didn't go in to open a bank account. They went in to rob the bank. Yeah, but I thought they were going to open a bank account. Yeah, but they didn't, did they? It was a bit obvious by the way they were dressed with the stripy shirt on, with the little black fucking mask around their eyes, you know, that it was a bit obvious that they were, you know, and the huge bag of marked swag over their shoulder, which was empty when they went in and full of swag when they came out. It's a bit obvious what they were going to do to anyone who was paying attention. But, you know, you're still surprised. I thought they were going to open an account at Coots. Now they're just going to rob the place, mate. Just going to rob the place. Do you remember when the most important news in the world was that Nigel Farage couldn't get a posh bank account? If you get some refuck canvassers and you know, knocking on the door, just say, oh, you know, I'm sure you're helping us protect, you know, those rich people getting their rich people bank accounts. You know, that's the most important thing, isn't it? £1.59 in Tesco. £1.57. Tesco, that's for petrol, isn't it? £1.57 petrol. £1.97 diesel in Edinburgh right now. Fucking hell. And do you know what? Again, this is about the economy going round, because the price of petrol goes up. People don't move around so much. And when you don't have physical mobility, you don't have social mobility for a start, but also you don't have the mobility of money. Like, money just stops. It stays in the house. You just spend it on stuff in the house. VFuck will apparently be announcing a new candidate today, Viktor Orbán. Now, he says he doesn't know him, but he has experience in local government. Is a posh bank account like a posh wank? Yes, you have to put a condom on your head when you go into a branch of NatWest, and they go, oh, you got a condom on your head, therefore you can now have a posh wanker's bank account. True story. Anyway, so yeah, they have to deliver. And the Fash never deliver, because they're not there to deliver. They're not there to open. They're not in your bank to ask for a mortgage, or to take out a mortgage, or to start a bank account. They are there to rob the bank. Okay, stop being surprised. They've gone into the Louvre not to admire the crown jewels, but to steal the crown jewels. Stop being surprised that this happens, because it happens 100% of the time. These people are not in politics to help you. They're not in the politics to help me. They're not in politics to help the stupid dickheads who are knocking on your door canvassing for refuck. They are not there for that. They are there to make money for themselves. Get this message out there, because it cuts through everything else. Like, we can argue about, you know, whether we should be in the EU or not, or we could argue about the treatment of minorities in this country, or the treatment of immigrants, or the treatment of asylum seekers. We can argue about the toss all day and all night. But what they cannot argue against is the fact that Tice and Farage and Wigmore and Aaron Banks and all those fucking assholes are only in politics to make money. They want to make money, and they have made so much. It'll make your fucking eyes fucking tear up if you saw the absolutely gargantuan amount of money these motherfuckers have made by their little forays into politics. Robber barons. And people can't argue against this, because you can bring the receipts, literal receipts. Nigel Farage earning £2 million since becoming an MP. 2 million. Over 2 million now. Way over 2 million. But yeah, Orbán was very much the blueprint. He was the model. Control the media. The Fash model. In a how Fash exists within a democratic system. Control the media, undermine institutions slowly, keep elections but rig the system around them. And that playbook influenced Trump, Farage, European populist parties, parts of the Republican Party in the States. If Orbánism fails at home, it undermines the credibility everywhere. And this is a psychological blow to the far right. And this is why we need to be dancing and screaming and making lots of noise and being very happy. Not screaming, singing. And for years, the narrative has been the future belongs to us. You know, that the fucking Nazi ideal. And liberal democracy is dying. And Hungary was their proof of concept. But now that proof just got voted out. And systems didn't but systems don't disappear overnight. Okay, then this is important. Reality check. Orbán's people are still embedded, as I've said, in the judiciary, in the media, in the business network, civil service, in Hungary. You know the way Trump got rid of all the people who were working for the civil services over in America, who weren't like friends of Trump. He got rid of people in the military who were the wrong colour. He got rid of people who had written a mean tweet about him 17 years ago. And so now, even with a super majority, reform in Hungary is going to be slow. Resistance is going to be fear, and sabotage is very, very likely. It's not a clean reset. It is a long institutional fight. But take heart in the fact that they have got a supermajority. So if they actually go ahead with this, then we are fucking sorted. And anyway, so yeah, we've gone from with Trump. It's gone from strongman to chaos merchant. You know, this guy who came along saying, I'm going to be the president of peace. I had it out with a Trump voter when I was over in Bogus a few years ago, and he was saying, I think Trump will go down as the best president ever. This is before he was re-elected, and I was like, what did he do? What did he actually do? You know, he didn't build that wall. He didn't get rid of Obamacare. What did he actually do? He played golf all the time. He didn't actually do anything. He said, oh, we didn't start any wars. And I'm like, well, I'm pretty sure that Obama didn't start any wars either. I mean, there was a continuation of wars that were happening. Oh no, but Trump brought these wars to an end, which he was happy to take credit for. You know, his negotiations with the Taliban to pull out of Afghanistan, which left Biden in the lurch when he took over, and it was like, well, we'll set this up now, so we're going to have this really dysfunctional retreat from Afghanistan, which really damaged his popularity amongst a lot of people. And in a way, it wasn't even Biden's fault. Not that I want to make excuses for Biden, because he's a stupid dickhead who fucking stayed on far longer than he should have done. And also, didn't go after Trump when he had the opportunity to. You know, he if you come for the king, that you can't miss. And he missed by a fucking mile. But he missed on purpose. Do you know what I mean? With Trump, he's the one thing that people said was he never started any wars. He never started any wars. Well, he still started a fucking war, and he's trashed the world economy in the process. Apparently, the US and Iran were inches away from a deal, and then it collapsed. Iran has accused the US of shifting the goalposts, which doesn't come as any surprise to anyone, and saying that they said that the demands became unrealistic. And Trump's response was to walk away and immediately escalate with a blockade. So he's announced a naval blockade of Iranian ports and enforcement against ships entering or exiting Iran. I mean, this is an act of war, and it risks direct confrontation with Iran and impacts the global supply of oil, because the Strait of Hormuz is really important, as we've found out, as we've been talking about for the last month or so. And the immediate effect of Trump doing this is oil prices have now spiked above $100 a barrel again. Markets are now destabilized, and we'll see in the next few hours when the markets open in America what it does. What happens, in global inflation pressure increases. This hits ordinary people, especially in energy importing countries like the UK. Even though we get very little of our oil or gas that comes through the Strait of Hormuz, same with America, it doesn't matter, because oil and gas is traded on the international markets. We don't get a friends and family discount. We don't get a friends and family discount. Do you understand? You get that, don't you? You watch this show, you're quite intelligent and good looking as well, but you watch this show and you get it, don't you? You're basically saying to a company, we're going to allow you to drill for oil in the North Sea, and then you can sell that oil to us. Oh, cool. Do we have to give you a discount because it's your oil? Technically. Nah, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that, mate. You just sell it to us at the global rate. And we'll trade it in dollars as well, even though it's a British company, even though it's selling it to Britain, we'll do it in dollars. So we have to convert our pounds into dollars and then dollars back into pounds. Okay, cool. Yeah, cool. So that'll give more money to the American exchequer. Okay, cool. Treasury, whatever the fuck they call it. And there you go. Forget potential leader butting heads with Iran. What happens if they try it with a Chinese or Indian leader? Indeed, my doorbell is doing my head in. It's not even windy yet. I'm getting the motion notifications every 30 seconds. Shit. That's all for Mr. Tisk. It's a beautiful place, the Danube especially. Hopefully things will change for the better now, although it depends how ingrained it has become. Love how Americans can't understand the fuel prices increasing when they drill their own oil. Same as here, pal. Comes out your ground, but owned by oil companies. They want to maximize the profit. Yeah, it's bought and sold on the international market. And if that oil company can sell a barrel of oil to Angola, Angola, they've got their own. Well, no, even Angola, they've got their own oil, but maybe they need to buy some as well. It will cost them $100 a barrel. And they'll say, well, listen, we really, really need it because we've got a shortage, because we normally get stuff from the Middle East, and we don't get that stuff from the Middle East at the moment. So we'll pay you $101. And they're like, okay, sold. American oil going over to wherever the fuck. They don't care. They don't care. Remember, the US blockade starts tonight, and it's tomorrow's Tuesday, so another Taco Tuesday. Yeah, possibly. But even allies are blocking, are backing away. The UK have already said, explicitly not joining this fucking blockade, and they're supporting freedom of navigation instead. And Trump is getting increasingly fucking isolated. And with with his man in Europe, Orbán taking off the chessboard, then he's pretty much fucked. But then he's gone after the Pope. He's gone after the Pope. There's 1 billion Catholics out there. How many Catholics are there? How many Catholics are there in the world? Over 1.4 billion. 1.4 billion Catholics in the world. And the Pope has criticised the war rhetoric of Trump, because that's what Jesus would do. And he's framed it as a moral issue and warns against such an escalation. And Trump, in response, has called him weak, said he's terrible for foreign policy, and accuses him of being too liberal and too woke. And that's crazy, isn't it? Trump won with 55% of Catholic voters in America. And he relies on this religious legitimacy. And then he picks a fight with the Pope. Undermines that support, signals loss of message discipline, and suggests that Trump is just a child who reacts to things. But it's also part of a bigger pattern of loss of control. He's not in control of his faculties. Never mind his country. Never mind the situation in Iran. The Iran strategy is chaotic. His diplomacy is collapsing. The messaging is increasingly erratic, and it's not strength. It's just pure instability, which is something that investors fucking hate. And this is why the American economy, it's living on borrowed time at the moment, as far as I'm concerned. I think it's like Wile E. Coyote. He's gone off the cliff. It just hasn't fallen yet. He's off the cliff. There's no way of getting back onto the cliff. He can turn around and scramble back as you can in the cartoon, but at some point, when he looks down, he's going to hold up a sign that says help, and he's just going to start falling, because that's the way it works, And, there is the strongman competence myth of the right is definitely cracking. We've seen that with Orbán going out, and with Trump and his increasingly erratic nonsense. Even the defense that people had of him. Oh, he didn't start a war. He didn't start a war. Well, he just fucking has. He just fucking has. And Trump is struggling internationally. I think he's struggling internally, and he's struggling with MAGA. There's internal MAGA fighting going on. But losing power can make these people more dangerous, because they can radicalize further. They can escalate their rhetoric. They do the whole thing of like, oh, it would have worked if it hadn't been for X, Y, Z. Pick a minority and say it would have worked without this minority. They interfered, like what Liz Truss says, like what Hitler said. Stabbed in the back theory. Oh, it would have been beautiful had XYZ not done this thing. You hear this all the time from extremists on both sides of the political spectrum, to be fair. But it would have been a beautiful thing had it not had so much water in it. I just think that the decline, of these motherfuckers is to be welcomed, but we do need to keep an eye on them. We do need to keep an eye on them, definitely. I'm very glad that Orbán didn't claim that the elections were illegitimate, which Trump will do in October when the midterms come. We're going to have the culture war will intensify in the run up to these midterms. I've no doubt about it, and also in the run up to the 2029 election here in the UK. The culture war is going to intensify. It absolutely is. And external conflicts are usually used to rally support. But in the case of what Trump is doing at the moment, I think it's going to work against him. I think it's already working against him. MAGA's, fighting itself. And this is a turning point. It's not an end. It's not an end to the fash. The fash is still going to fucking live there, and they're still going to be supported by the billionaires. But Hungary, proves something important. Even when you've captured the media, you've got institutional control, you got years of propaganda, and all the billionaire scumbags in the world support you. Voters can still mobilize, turn out, and remove entrenched power. But these are movements, not just individuals. And Orbanism won't vanish overnight, and Trumpism won't vanish overnight when Trump is gone. Oh God, I can't wait till Trump goes. But the real question is not, are the far right finished at this point? I don't think they are, not by a long chalk. But It's what will they do next? What will they do next now that they're losing? They're clearly fucking losing. So this is the moment where things get better gradually, or things can actually, if they start fucking shit up because they see themselves losing power and becoming more and more extreme in their ways of keeping power, it could get worse before it gets better. But I'm hoping it's not gonna go down that way. I'm really hoping that's not gonna go down that way. So I've de-googled my phone. That's a good idea. They have brought in cameras with facial recognition now, so it recognizes people who've been to your house. The Ring doorbells. They put up an advert, I think it was during the Super Bowl, of like they did it. They framed it as finding a household pet, and all the Ring doorbells could club together and find this household pet that got missing. And it's straight out of a Black Mirror, because then if there's a black person turns up in a white neighborhood, they'll be able to bring all the Ring cameras together to find and track them down. So the racists can be all Ku Klux Klan-y, because that's what they like to do. They can give that information to the government. They can give it to fucking Planeteer or whoever they want to give it to. It's really fucking grim. When people feel how bad they can live on their own backs, no amount of propaganda will help. Well, it's that thing of people say, oh, well, we should stand on our own 2 feet. We should stand on our own. No, that's never happened. We've always stood on the shoulders of giants. We've always stood on the shoulders of people who did the work before us, the people who came before us, who put all these things into motion, all these things into effect. And this is why it's so important to look at what was already here when we got here and understand that we do very well because of society, and kick back against this individualistic thinking that a lot of people unfortunately have. Anyway, so over to the papers. We've got to go to the papers. Had motion cameras on the lawn, back a building, but local foxes just use it as the personal Pornhub channel. So that makes me laugh. Same as Tesla cars, they track and record all the time. Yes, they do. Personal conversation. They're literally listening to your conversation in your car. It's got to a point where I think of something a day later, a related vid appears on my recommended feed on YouTube. What the fuck? Yeah, but part of that is isn't there like a cognitive thing, like from you there's a certain word for it, but it's like if you learn a new word for the first time, you will end up seeing that word 3 times in a week, and you're like, I've never seen this word before, and now three of them come along at once. Well, there you go. Captain Coconut, I would like to apologise for the heat shield curveball I threw at you on Friday. I was drunk, giggly, and totally wrong of me to send you that BS, unless it was April the 1st. Sorry. Thanks, Captain Coconut. What were we talking about? I don't know. Got so much on my mind. Don't worry about it. We can have a little bit of bands. What should we call the Fox Pornhub channel? That's hilarious. Foxy Time. Foxytime.com. Anyway, so we're going to head over to the Times and the Mail. The Mail there. The Mail. First, we'll look at the Times. Oh no, I'm a mum to 6 puppies. Okay. Starmer seeks to adopt EU rules by using Henry VIII powers. Here's Starmer wants the power to sign Britain up to the EU single market under plans that would avoid a normal parliamentary vote. Yes. Rules that were brought in because of Brexit. Rules that Brexit allowed us to bring in are being used to dismantle Brexit. Isn't there a beautiful symmetry in that? Isn't there some poetry in that? Careful what you wish for. And this is something that the Fash just don't understand. They bring in all these things to make sure that the Fash but they never think about the Fash not being in office anymore. So they give all this power to the president. They give all this power to these department heads who are the cronies of the president. They do all this shit, right? They don't realize that when the opposition get in, and they will eventually get in, they can use those same instruments that you have created to maintain control. They can use that against you. That'd be a warning to you. Irony is not dead. No. Trump, US blockade to end straight extortion even. Fucking hell, I can't even speak today. Trump, US blockade to end straight extortion. Navy locked and loaded after peace talks flounder. President Trump declared the US Navy would immediately impose a military blockade of the Strait of Hormuz yesterday. No celebration of democracy as Hungary outs Orbán here on the right of the page. Viktor Orbán's 16-year rule of Hungary came to a dramatic end last night. Then we've got how my simple supermodel diet can work for you. No, I don't want to be a supermodel. It's all right. Latest Brexit betrayal. Labour plots to deny MPs vote on new EU sellout. How did they get to? Hey, listen. Hey, how did they get to do that? How did they get to do that? Hey, come here. Do you know how they get to do that? Because of the laws that your lot brought in. Otherwise, they wouldn't be able to do it. It's hilarious. I know. Anyway, so Labour was accused last night of another Brexit betrayal. Oh, cry harder. Brex moaners. We are going to return to the EU, to the loving arms of the EU. We are going to rejoin the EU. We're going to rejoin. It's going to be fucking amazing. You can't do anything about it because we don't even have to ask MPs what their opinion is on it. What Netflix rift? Meghan embraces wife of streaming giant boss. Okay, cool. And then we've got the why go-to look for spring is a jacket and jeans for the Daily Telegraph there, which makes a big difference from the last 10 years, which were a jacket and jeans, and the 10 years before that were the jacket and jeans, and the 10 years before that it was a jacket and jeans. So yeah, it's been going on for quite a long time. Tim Spector, rituals that get me to sleep. I don't know who Tim Spector is. Who is Tim Spector? Should we have an inspector of Tim Spector? Who is Tim Spector? Why do we need to listen to him? Tim Spector, rituals that get me to... He's a doctor. He's a British medical doctor, apparently. He's a science. He was born in North London. He was privately educated at University College School. Well, another one to add to the private school mafia list. It's over 1,300 names. So there's another one. Why does he get to be on the front cover of the Daily Telegraph giving people a medical advice? Because he went to private school. PM refuses to join blockade of Hormuz. Correct. Good. Don't cry for me. I've won an Oliver. That was Rachel Ziegler, who won the Best Actress in a Musical for Evita. And apparently she's really, really good in it. And we like Rachel Ziegler. She's all right. We've got EU rules to be imposed on Britain under Labour plans. Yep, absolutely good. And then we've got NHS patient survival rates amongst the worst in developed world. NHS patients face some of the worst survival rates in developed world despite record funding for the health service, according to a report. An analysis of 22 wealthy nations found that the health service ranked almost at the bottom of the league table for so-called treatable mortality or premature deaths that should be avoided with timely and effective care. Only the US performed worse. The US, with its privatized healthcare system, performed worse. And the reason why the NHS is performing so badly is because of 16 years of underfunding and being torn apart by, 14 years of Tories basically fucking them over, fucking us all over, because that's what Tories do. They just fuck things over. Anyway, so we've got the Queen dismayed by Cameron over Brexit. Elizabeth II queried why Lord Cameron called the Brexit referendum in a conversation with Barack Obama, it's been claimed. Yep. Wouldn't surprise me. She was devastated by it, mortified by the stupidity of these Eton-educated motherfuckers. Shops failing to help police tackle thieves. We've got... students are infantilized to the point of absurdity from Octavia Evans. Oh, God, she didn't go to the local comp, did she? Octavia, is this another one for the... Octavia, fuck me. Who calls their kid Octavia? Octavia Evans. My daft university issued a trigger warning for chocolate. Okay, cool. She went to the University of Roehampton. Is that even a place? Roehampton? That's not in the UK, is it? Oh, and she went to the University of Manchester as well. Yeah. Okay, cool. I can't find on her LinkedIn what school she went to. Obviously, that's a bit of a sign. Normally, people put what school they went to if they go to a state school. No, I don't want to connect with her. I just wanted to see what school she went to. Octavia Evans, private school. Let's see, have a look. During the night out, private spaces for women and girls only. Oh God, she's one of them. She's a TERF as well. Okay, cool. James Cook University. Okay, that's somebody else. Is that a different person? Is that the same Octavia? Students at James Cook University, which is Australia, isn't it? Is that in Australia? Do we have James Cook University in this country? Is that in Middlesbrough? I don't know. Nothing else coming up, but I guarantee she'll be one of those people that should be on the list. University of Roehampton is in London. Is it? Is it? Thought it was in America. Never heard of it. Roehampton, southwest London. I thought it was up in the Hamptons. Anyway, we've got Trump there looking very orange and sunburnt and fucked. I mean, he looks absolutely fucked. Let's get rid of his face because I hate his face. I hate his stupid, ugly face. There you go. We'll make the butter face go over his face. Perfect. You wouldn't notice. Like, honestly, if you printed that and just sent it out, you'll know exactly who it is, wouldn't you, with the butter? The US warships to blockade straight after talks fail. We've also got 24 free wildlife-friendly plants. We've also got, that sounds very woke. The NHS needs to cure itself of this gender madness. Okay, what? What the fuck? What the fucking fuck is this about? An NHS trust which suspended a nurse for calling a transgender paedophile Mr. has settled out of court with large payout. Oh, for fuck's sake. Fuck's sake. Seriously. Fuck's sake. I bet that's not what it was about. I bet it was fucking much worse than that. I bet it was systemic abuse of a group of people over many years, as it always is. It's like that fucking mad teacher over in Ireland who keeps turning up at the fucking school he was kicked out of for being a gobshite. And it's like, oh, I only misgendered one student once. No, you didn't, mate. You waged a campaign of bullying and harassment against a group of students. It wasn't just one. And you were told by the school to fuck off. And then you kept coming back to the school like a fucking weirdo. And you're actually not going to jail because you said something wrong. You're going to jail because you're hanging out outside the school like a fucking weirdo. There's always more to it than the headlines give away. But this is the way that these newspapers fucking operate. And then there's a Rosamund Pike won something, which is nice for her. And then we've got a story about Robert Jenrick. Same old before. Robert Jenrick vowed to cut a flight tax after accepting donations from the owner of an airline that would benefit. Reform's Treasury spokesman received £40,000 from Condor's main shareholder, Alistair Limited. A Labour spokesman said, in whose interest is he acting? Well, his own, obviously. And there's Trump there saying, I'll block the strait. Sorry, I'll try and cover his face for a moment. So we don't have to look at it. Look, that works so well. Obviously, there's another butterface that we need to put on over here because he's looking the other way. There you go. Whew. Clean that up. And Eamon Holmes had a stroke, which isn't nice. I'm not a big fan of it, Eamon Holmes, but I wouldn't wish a stroke on anyone. That's not great, is it? So yeah, we'll get rid of the butters and move down a bit. Hopefully there's no more pictures of Trump that we need to cover up. We've got the title is on. City thrash Chelsea to set up Arsenal showdown. West End Bear Paddington cleans up at the Olive. I don't like his face. I don't like this mechanical Paddington's face. I don't like the way he looks. I think he looks a bit, dead-eyed. I think they need to work on that. Hungary enters new era as election ends Orbán's 16-year grip on power. And we've got the TSOR party set to take over a critical poll. Set it over after a critical poll for Europe and Washington. UK could align with EU without MP scrutiny. Ministers are planning to fundamentally reshape Britain's relationship with the EU with new legislation that could result in the UK signing up to a single market rules without a nominal parliamentary vote. Oh, you don't like it when democracy doesn't go your way. Don't make rules. Don't make rules saying you can change things without having to ask people and then moan about people changing things without having to ask people. Anyway, Trump in threat to block straight after talks collapse, which we mentioned. Bieber's back. Oh, yay. Guilty pleasure there, but comeback divides fans as stars come out for Coachella. There's Sabrina Carpenter there as well, being absolutely awesome. 5 out of 5, apparently, for her gig, for her set at the Coachella Festival, or Coachella Festival. And then hitting the heights in Toronto. Travel, there you go, Toronto. Spent a bit of time there last year. Like it. I like it a lot. Government tackles oil crisis with ban on deep fried food in schools. Deep fried dishes are to be banned from school dinners as the government launches a revolution to fight childhood obesity and tooth decay. Okay, cool. And then we've got the FT, we'll come back to that. And then we've got the I newspaper on the left here. We've got water firms hit by record 96 criminal inquiries during Suez scandal crackdown. Awesome. The one rule President Nixon gave King Charles, don't get caught, I guess. Inflation warning for Britain as Trump threatens shipping blockade in revenge for failed peace talks. And then, that's it for the paper. So I'm going to just go over to the Financial Times. I'm just going to let the advert for multi-streaming software go away. Thank you. And we'll go to the FT here. What happens in Sudan will not stay in Sudan, which is true of all international situations where something horrible is happening somewhere in the world. It never stays in the borders of the country in which it's happening, ever, 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 in all the world's history. It never does. Novo Nordisk looks beyond obesity drugs. We've got Hungary's fate, huge turnout in pivotal vote. We've also got Trump declares a blockade of Hormuz. Actually, that's Viktor Orbán's hold on power. Oh, so this was obviously... See you later, Cat. I love you too. Cat's just going out. We got Hungary. This obviously was printed before they knew that Orbán had won. In fact, the news came through at about 9:15 that he's conceded. So that's pretty bad. They must have wanted to get home early. But yeah, there's people queuing up to vote in large numbers. And then we've got Trump declares blockade of Hormuz after Iran talks fail to yield peace deal. Navy to halt toll-playing ships. Tehran speaks of mistrust, fears for oil price, global economy dented. No surprise there. Brexiteers try to distance themselves from Trump. There's a picture of the fucking frog-faced fucker, also known as Nigel Farage there. Just cover that over for you so you have to look at it. Right-wing politicians, once vocal fans of Donald Trump, appear to have undergone a distinct shift. The former Brexit negotiator, Lord David Frost, privately educated, of course, has declared Trump heedless of the moral element of leadership. Reform leader Nigel Farage, privately educated, of course, above, has sought to minimise his ties to the US president. I happen to know him, but that's by the by. Just 18% of Leave voters in a recent Ipsos poll say Trump has done a good job handling the war with Iran. Well, there you go. Congratulations, I've won something. Switzerland Zug becomes boat hole for expats fleeing turmoil in Gulf. Gulf expats searching for a haven from conflict are homing in on Zug, a picturesque Swiss canton of just 135,000 people, better known for attracting commodity traders and cryptocurrency firms. I love the way they use the word firms, like they're actually, they got something to say. Do you know what I mean? Like these so-called firms, they're just pyramid schemes. They're just fucking pyramid schemes. That's all they are. Let's get this frog. Let's get this frog in the right place. Let's put him over there. So we're just going to read the briefing down here on the right. Volatility helps Wall Street banks recap $40 billion harvest. Volatility helps Wall Street banks reap $40 billion harvest. So basically, the banks are all for Trump doing what Trump does because it means that they get loads of fucking money. That is it. They're making so much money at the volatility of the market. It's stupid. Especially they've probably got they've got the inside track on who's doing what, because they'll be watching the people who are obviously making bets on what Trump is going to do next, bets on poly market and the actual stock market, and they'll be looking at that and going, okay, well they've picked this, and we need to do that. We've also got water utilities legal costs there. Anglican, Southern, South East, Wessex, and Northumbrian water utilities spent $32 million on appeal to the competition watchdog that allowed them to raise the customer bills even higher. What fucking gobshites. 3i bets on action in US. Britain's oldest private equity firm is wagering that Dutch retailer and crown jewel in its portfolio can crack the difficult US market. We've got sell-off hits Aston Martin. The luxury car maker's shares and bonds at record losses. as investors, spooked by its cash burn, race to ditch their exposure. The market value is now 430 million, down from 4.3 billion in 2018. So when we're talking about its uncertainty and investment and all this, this is a British company that's been fucked. And one of the reasons it's been fucked is probably Brexit. Little extends phone push. Beijing softens on Taiwan. Robin Hood shows caution. Suspiciously well-timed bets have preempted the US broker to exclude some prediction markets from its push into the sector over concerns they encourage insider trading and manipulation. Well, Trump's administration is all about manipulation. And AfD pledges deportations. Far-right parties promise to deport migrants, clap down on public broadcasters, and launch a student exchange with Russia if it wins an Eastern German state in elections next year. Gobshites. Absolute gobshites. Can you not tell they're gobshites? I mean, the fact that Germany's even flirting with these motherfuckers, it's like, does no one ever learn the lessons of history? Oh my God! My local reform candidate just got outed for posting on a local WILF site. Local WILF? What is that, like wife swapping? Steve Hammond Homewood and Beerley candidate. It's crazy, isn't it? Farage goes from sycophant from loyalist to I just know him at a drop of a hat or bomb. Yeah, steady hands there on the wheel. Yeah. He can go on as much as he likes about Starmer's fucking U-turns, but it's a little bit hypocritical. It's a little bit hypocritical. Got to say. Okay, so we're going to have a quick vote now because otherwise I'm going to wrap up the show as we're coming up to 11 o'clock. Wife, I'd like to, I figured that. Wife swapping. I'm the only one who knows, am I the only one who wants to know Trump has finished his declaration with the line, it's going to be great? I don't know. Hey, listen, we're going to have a poll. So what I want to know from you is whether you're asked or not if we have a quick game of Geoguessr at the end of the show. Because I kind of want to make this a thing, maybe. Maybe this can be a thing. So there you go. There's the poll going into the chat there. So the question is Geoguessr, yes or no? We've got 5 free games a day, and I think it's just a bit of fun at the end of the show. And yesterday I was 3 meters away from where it was. So based on that, I'm quite buoyed. It's the only option. Yes. Oh no, there isn't. There is a no. Yes. 10% say no. 91% say yes now. Oh, no, someone else said no. It's 85-15, 13 votes in. Let's see, 86% say yes. 87, 82, it's got that to 82. Oh, 76. Ooh, the no votes are coming in now. Geoguessr, says Sarah Davis. We're going to see the end of the poll here. We've got 75% say yes, 25% say no. We've got a few more moments of the poll. Get your votes in now. We've got 20 votes, 77, 22 votes now, 77, 74. It's going up and down. It's 72, 77, 72. It's all over the place. So 73. It's just ticked up a little bit. 26 votes. We can tell you're quite buoyed. Show off, says Captain Coconut. Yes. And yes, we got a few more votes coming in to decide whether we want to go for the Geoguessr, geoguessr.com. Let's decide whether we want to do this thing. Should we do this thing? I think we should. There you go. So I'm just setting it up so you can see the whole of the moon. There you go. Okay, I'm gonna move that down a little bit. Cool. We've got 69% say yes, 31% no, say no. So I'm gonna end the poll there. It's a super majority for yes. So we're gonna do it. Listen, if you want to go and do something else, get on with your day. You're very welcome to do so. We'll be going until about 11 o'clock, and then we'll be calling it a day at that point. Let's do this. Let's do this funky chicken. Let's play now. God, trying to bring up. It says my friend list is empty. I don't care. Right, let's do it. Let's go for F11 there. Make it bigger. Make it bigger. As the actress said to the bishop. Okay. Hungary, are you out? Next, Georgia, Serbia, and all Moldova. Yeah. Sorry, back in a bit. Workman has called. Ooh, I've got to keep an eye out because an ear out because there might be the guy to we've got a guy from the council coming around. So I could keep an ear out for that. So there is a chance I might have to just abandon this stream entirely and just go straight to the credits. So I'm just warning you now. But until that moment happens, let's press play and do this thing. Woo! Okay, we are in a country that drives on the on the left by the looks of things. 50 miles an hour there, or 50 kilometers, I think, more likely. No overtaking. There's a stop sign. Ooh, there is a sign here. What is this sign saying? Oh, Bahnhof, Lindhof, Rubenplatz. Christ, there's a place called Christ. Christ Almighty. There is a place called Christ. Okay, that's fair enough. Lindenhof. Rubenplatz sounds very, very German, doesn't it? I'm just saying, possibly Germany. Hang on. How about Switzerland? Yeah. Should we go for Switzerland? So yeah. Let's go for Switzerland. Quick. Dive down to Switzerland. Woo! Let's go to Zurich. Let's go to Zurich. Where's that? Oh God, I can't control my mouse here. Right now, let's have a look. Because that looks like a local sign. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't look like Bahnhof. Sounds like the barn, like Deutsche Bahn. That sounds like the park and ride. Maybe that's park and ride in Switzerland. So I'm thinking we're around Zurich somewhere. Christ Almighty. So we're outside Zurich, I'll say. And there's a guy putting up a thing. We're on a road, but it's just a single lane road. How do we get the number for this road? How do we get that? Etal, Germany, says Gareth, shouting at me. Are you sure? Nope, I don't see any mountains. Lindenhog is in Switzerland, in Germany. Are we Germany or Switzerland? Oh, hang on. There is a place. Gattendorf. Gattendorf. Where's that? Gattendorf. Austria. Oh shit. Okay, right. Bloody fuck. Okay, there's Liechtenstein. Oh shit. Sorry, I'm running out of time. I was only 500 miles away. It was Austria. It wasn't Switzerland. It wasn't Germany. It was Austria. There's Gattendorf there. Do you know what? If I had a bit more time, I might be able to find that. Not tidy enough for CH. Cool. Okay. Black top bollards. Austrian roadside bollards are white with a black cap, often with a small rounded knob at the very top. So if you've got a small rounded knob, then you're from Austria. Didn't do very well there. Next one. Let's try and do better this time. Okay. Looks European, doesn't it? Okay. A Z with a inverted kind of little circumflex thing going on. So definitely Eastern Europe, I would say. Maybe Hungary. Maybe we're in Hungary. I don't know. Are we in Hungary? We could be. There is Jandrik's supermarket there. Okay. Whoa, we're up in the mountains. We're up quite high here. Slovenia. Slovenia. Is it Slovenia? Could be. Could be, my friends. Oh, hello. We have a sign. We have a sign. We always like a sign. We've got Grob. Does that just mean church? Is that actually a place, or does that just mean church? I don't know. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. It just means cemetery. It's the Slovenian or Serbo-Croatian word for cemetery or graveyard. So there you go. But that does say cathedral. Cathedral for Jakova. Okay, it's in Croatia. It's in Croatia. Oh, maybe we're in Croatia. Might be in Croatia, peeps. Need to find some more place names. Some place names. Give us some place names. What are we thinking in the chat? What are we thinking in the chat? Slovenia. Could be Slovenia. Could also be Croatia. Not Serbia because they don't use the cafe bar Pink Panther. That's good. Actually, let's look up Oz. You just go there. It's Croatia. We're in Croatia. So where are we in Croatia? That is the question. Up in the mountains. Okay, we're probably somewhere near Split, I'll say. So let's just go here. It's the mountainous sort of bit here. Let's go here. Let's just pick there. Go on, guess. Woo! I was only 87 kilometers away from just a random place that I picked in Serbia. There you go. Oh, there you go. Guest house, cafe, bar, Pink Panther. Hey, maybe I should just look that up. It's not cheating looking things up. No, it's not cheating. You're giving the clues, aren't you? They give you 3 minutes so you can have a look. But yeah, that's why I need your help. No mountains. Everyone's shouting no mountains. Roads. But yeah, it was that beer brand is a beer brand in Croatia. Oh, hello. Where are we here? We're in the middle of nowhere. Oh god, this is Mongolia, isn't it? Look at this. This is Mongolia. This is Mongolia. It's going to be like, oh, see the Google car and the road is all crackly and the bollards of this. Okay, we're behind a van here or something. We need to find the name of this company. Oh, here you go. Oh, hello. Combustible. Okay, we're not. We are up in the Andes, I guess. Doesn't that mean dangerous? Peligro. Doesn't that mean danger? Combustible. Peligro in Spanish. Doesn't peligro mean Spanish word for danger, peril or threat? Yeah, I thought so. Okay, so we're up in the Andes, most definitely up in the Andes, Andy Pandies. So we could be in Chile, we could be in Argentina, we could be in fucking Peru or Bolivia. Oh, Jesus. I'm going to go with southern Argentina. I think we're in southern Argentina here. I think we're in Patagonia. Cheers from the front line from Richmond on Thames, from your resident rocket scientist. Thank you very much, Dice Stanton. That is very, very kind of you. Thank you for the super chat. Does anyone have a Peru, Chile? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But I'm thinking this looks... See, look, right, okay, here's my thinking. If this was the Andes, I think the mountains would be higher, although there's mountains over there. Ooh, okay. We really need a road sign, don't we? I do think we're in Patagonia. Bolivia. Oh, we could be in Bolivia. Do you know what? The roads look a bit Bolivian in that they're kind of fucked. I love Bolivia. Traveled around Bolivia a lot, but yeah. The Pampas could be. Yeah, it could be north of. Oh, was that a sign? Was that a sign saying something? We could be north of. Oh no, oh, there we go. There is a sign. What does it say? Oh, hello. Oh, yes, we got a sign. Finally. Eura maps. Okay, Eura. I suppose Imata. It's probably a better thing to look for. Imata. Okay. All right. Peru, maybe. I don't know. Nothing's come up. So, yeah, we're going to go for Peru. We're going to go for near the board, near here. Jesus Christ. This is not easy. Let's go for this road here. Okay. Whoa! 82 kilometers. That wasn't bad, considering I had no idea. There you go. Is it actually a place? Is it actually? Look at that. They put us on this road in the middle of nowhere. Oh, we were supposed to notice the striped signposts. Many signposts in Peru are square-shaped and painted in alternating black and white. They're obsessed with the posts, aren't they? They're like, oh, well, if you know what the posts are. But there you go. We were on the 34A. Okay. But there you go. You're here. You're here. But there you go. So, yeah, it was one angry pagan. You're right. It was Peru. And it was near the border with Chile. And it's the UK. It's the UK. No, it's not. Leongatha. But it's got BP. It must be the UK. No, it's not. It's got a paint shop. Who has paint shops? Not me. BP. And they're driving on the left. It's got to be Australia. Got to be Australia. Oh, there you go. There's a sign for fucking Melbourne. Bit of a giveaway. Okay, so where's Dumbulk? Where's Dumbulk in Australia? In Melbourne, near Melbourne. We got to find Dumbulk, mate. Fucking Dumbulk. I love the name of places in Australia. But yeah, that's a bit of a giveaway, isn't it? There's a sign. There's literally a sign. Dumbulk is where are we? Where are we, Ferrari? Okay, so we're over to the right. Dumbulk. There's Dumbulk there on the C. Dumbulk on the C. 545. Okay, so this is this road. So if you continue on this road, so and if you go left, you go to Melbourne. Oh yeah. There is a north, south, east, west thing. Oh, I've never noticed that before. So we're going west here. Iverloch. So let's see if we can find an Iverloch here. We've got Tarwin, Turton's cave, whatever that is. Iverloch of what? Iverloch. Inverloch, sorry, not Iverloch. That's down here. Okay. Oh, there's Iverloch there. Okay, so we are on the Bass. Oh, we're on the Bass Highway. Okay, and if we go that way, we'll end up in Iverloch. So if we're facing west, we'll be on this side. So, oh shit. Where are we? There's not going to be a sign for that anywhere around here. Dumbulk was the other place, wasn't it? Where's that gone? Oh, I've lost it. Where was Dumbulk gone? Sorry, everyone. This isn't as exciting as I wanted it to be. So we were probably on the C66. Leongara, Barry's Creek. Okay, let's just go here. Oh, that's not bad. Black text. Give way signs in Australia have black text and a white outline border. Well, so do the signs in the UK as well. There you go. We were 8 kilometers away. We were actually in a place called Leongatha. So there you go. So next time you're in Australia, in Leongatha, say hello. Inverloch is Inverry. Is that how they pronounce it? It's like Cairns up in the south, in the north. Sorry, in the very northeast of the country, it's pronounced Cairns. So let's go. Next up. Ooh, we got a casino here. Probably America. A casino in every corner. Oh god, Montana Lils. Oh god, this looks so American. Look at the size of these fucking cars and the size of the fucking road. It's got to be America. Do we care where we are in America? Because it all looks the same. This is the real challenge, isn't it? Like everywhere in America, it looks an American flag. Kind of a bit of a giveaway. But there you go. Interstate 90. Interstate 90. Does anyone know where Interstate 90 goes? Interstate 90 goes in America. It's the longest highway in the United States. Oh my fucking giddy hand. It literally goes from one side of the country to the other. Wow. Okay. So that doesn't narrow it down, unfortunately. The I-90, yeah, it goes all the way from Washington to like Maine, I think. Okay, so let's have a bit of a look around here, see if we can see any signs of the fresh market. Nevada, says Diz. Texas. Do you know what? When you say the name of a place, if you're not guessing, if you've got a real good reason, like no mountains, it can't be Switzerland. That's more helpful than just shouting places out. Because if it's just a list of places, it could be. It's kind of helpful because it gives ideas. But if you can give me a reason why, we've got mountains. So I'm guessing that's Mountain Mama. Yeah, maybe Montana. North Carolina. No, the road doesn't go through North Carolina. I don't think. The interstate, it goes through. Yeah, it starts in Washington and it ends in Rhode Island or somewhere. So yeah, we gotta find a way out of this place. All the streets will be named like First Street, Second Street, Third Street, won't they? It's impossible to know where you are in America because it all looks the fucking same in every direction. Same cars, same trucks. These dickhead trucks that they have where it's like you're crammed in like you're in an old fucking school mini in the front of it, and they give all this space to a big flat truck with flatbed in the back, which never has anything in. Volunteer. Missoula Marathon. Okay, all right. Missoula. Where's Missoula? Missoula. The Missoula Marathon. It's in Montana. Okay, cool. Let's go there. Let's go to that place. In Montana. Oh shit. I better hurry up. I need to find it. Fuck. Montana. Whereabouts in Montana? Okay, shit. I can't see where the borders are here. Fuck. Okay, I'm gonna just go for Boise. There you go. Oh no, that's Idaho. Shit. Guess. Oh, 1 second left. Oh, sorry, it was a bit out. Got the right state though in the end. But there you go. We're in Lolo. Oh, there you go. There's where the actual place is that I saw the name of. That would have helped if I'd seen it, but I literally had seconds to go before. I had 2 seconds. 2 seconds left before it ended. But there you go. Montana. Not magenta. Got that. Mountain, Montana. Hardcore Minecraft, Wayne Graham. I'm not doing Minecraft. I'm not a Minecrafter. I'm not a crafty miner. The clue here was the speed signs. They say that the speed signs say speed limit because they actually write the word speed limit on it, so you know what the sign means when it has a number on it. Because Americans will think, oh, the sign says 30. It must mean that this is the road number 30 or something. I don't know. I got a silver medal today. Didn't get a gold. There you go. All good. Yep, pretty good. Look, other players, RP there, got exactly the same number of points as me. That is crazy. Anyway, we got all the right countries, I think. We did get all the right countries, so that's the main thing. And, just the wrong place in the right country. It's always a problem when it's a massive country like Russia or Kazakhstan or Australia or something, and you don't know where you are, and you just pick the wrong place in that country. And you're in the right country, but you may as well be 17 countries away because of the size of that country. Right, states with casinos, Texas, Oklahoma. Oh yeah, casinos are banned in most places. Hey, listen, I'm going to get going now because I need to have some breakfast. But the latest news before we go is that you rock. You absolutely fucking rock. But also, US is saying that the blockade will start within hours. The blockade of Iran's port is going to start within hours. And Pope Leo has said he's got no intention to debate Donald Trump. So there you go. And I'm going to go off now and have some homemade bread and some marmalade. I'm going to have some citrus marmalade on it just to upset the gam-gams. Bye, Graham. Bye, everyone, says Sarah. Listen, I'll be back tonight at 9 o'clock. I'll try to be back tonight for 9 o'clock for a show, which we might be doing with Scott. He wants to do a show with us. So we'll see how Scott is tonight if he wants to do a show. I don't really want to do stateside because it'll just be going over the stuff that we've already talked about in Morning Brew. So I want the evening shows to pivot more towards other stuff that we can talk about. So and I'm thinking of doing stuff about mental health. So we'll see how Scott feels about that. But I think that might be a good little oasis on the internet. Not like the band, but as in, you know, a fertile bit of microclimate wetland in the middle of a desert, of a vast barren desert of death in all directions. A little haven so we can talk about mental health, because I think we need to talk about it more, because a lot of people aren't given the support that they need, and a real good way of helping with mental health is by not bottling up inside and just actually having a conversation about it. So we'll see. I'll have a chat with Scott and see what we want to do. We might end up doing an episode of Stateside. I don't know, but we will be doing some kind of show tonight. So please tune in for that. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel, well, I'll tell you what, if you're not already liked, okay, if you give us a like, right? If you haven't already liked this episode, subscribe, but you haven't subscribed, and then you can join the chat. But if you have subscribe, please hit the bell notification icon, because there are going to be changes to be made to the Hughes of the World channel over the next few weeks. So yeah, as we adjust to our new regime, our new routine, then you'll get a little notification, get a little ping in your pocket to let you know that we are going live. Until we meet again, hopefully tonight or tomorrow morning, if you're not around tonight, at 9 o'clock or just after 9 for Morning Brew. I will say thank you so much for watching. Thanks so much for the super chat, especially Saz there. Thanks for that mega chat. That's really kind of you, and I will be giving some money to the Good Law Project on your behalf. And until next time, I'll say thanks for watching. Hello, good evening, welcome, and goodbye.